Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of My Book Story. This is a show where we give authors an opportunity to speak about their books and the story behind their books. Today, I am with two exciting guests. These guys, they are doing amazing work in their communities. As I keep on saying, we only bringing the best. We have Mr. Mngoma. Mr. Mngoma is a social entrepreneur. He's doing amazing work. He's a coach and a mentor to many young businessmen around the country. And we have Mrs. Nthabi Mngoma. This woman, she's doing amazing work. She's on TV, she's on radio, she's doing amazing work. But today, as we are here at My Book Story, today we are doing a book review of Move Before You Die. You understand that currently in the country, we have so many issues where people they are facing challenges in their relationship. But today, rest assured, I have guys who have experience. They are not talking about, they've not read it from anywhere, but they've wrote the book from their experience. They're saying, move before you die. Before I waste any time, let me give my guest, Mr. Mngoma and Mrs. Nthabi Mngoma, just to introduce themselves and tell you about this exciting and amazing book. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Ninjani God.
Sepila.
Yeah, it's an honor to have Iskati to sit with people of your caliber because you're doing amazing work, and I think we should acknowledge what you guys are doing. It's amazing. You are changing families, and you are changing because I've seen what you're doing in terms of entrepreneurship. And I've been always on your case, say, write a book because what you are doing, it's amazing. But we thank God that you have written this amazing book to say you deserve better, because many people, they don't know that they deserve better, and some, they die in relationship instead of moving forward. But before we go any further, I just want to give you an opportunity. Just introduce yourself, who you are, what you are doing, and then we'll get into the book.
Well, thank you very much. Ladies first.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce him.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is my hubby, my husband, Ubabu Mngoma. You've said that he's a social entrepreneur. He's a passionate trainer on various social issues. And he's also a life coach and a mentor to many young people, as you've said. But what I love about him more than anything else, he is a man of God before everything else. So that's where he reports and submits to. And then there's us, the family, myself as his wife, and we've got 7 kids together. 7 beautiful kids together. He is a very humble, loving man. You see it in the manner in which he interacts with people, you know, in Pagatini, even in the sessions that he will normally do, the entrepreneurship sessions, because that's where his core is. Entrepreneurship development, inclusive of social development, and making sure that he doesn't leave the people that he mentors there and there, but he actually holds them by hand and help them reach and realize the dreams that they offer. And from time to time, he really is there for his people.
Amen.
Yeah.
They say if anyone funded a wife, funded a good thing. The scripture has been confirmed.
And when I put say ngiyabonga kakhulu butwa unkosikazi wami but to every successful man there is an equally successful woman, and she is Nthabi Mngoma. She's amazing. She's got a touch, she's got a heart of gold. She opens up issues, she digs issues when she deals with them. As a social entrepreneur and a businesswoman and a visionary leader and a thought leader in the space of women empowerment, she does an amazing work. And I think she had allowed God to use her so much to touch souls. Hence, as a CEO of Soul Inspiration Global, it's a global organization where she goes around the world touching lives and especially emancipating women, adding value to them and say, hey, there's no shame. Her theme is there's no shame in going through challenges. So that is what has inspired me to work with her as my wife as well, to collaborate on this powerful piece that you played a major role. You are the first human being in this world that has planted a seed and said many years ago, hey, Baba Mngoma, please, what? And I said, no, man, but I'm glad, but I'm good to know we are here and we are excited. But in collaboration, we've produced this powerful piece, which it is already changing in Bilo Saband. And we are grateful also for this opportunity. But
No. I think before we start this interview, I think the viewers, they understand why you guys wrote this amazing book. But the first question that I want to tackle first, why should I read this book? That goes to you, sir.
This book is not an easy book to read, in that there's no way, from when you open the first chapter up until the last part, there's no way that your emotions will not be irritated. It's a book that irritates. It's not an easy book where I tap up you smile, but it's a book that will irritate your emotions. It will challenge your mind and your thoughts. It provokes izinto ethize that are often not being talked about, especially in the cycles of the churches where we're coming from, in our communities, even in everyday conversations. We don't talk about the fact that when we are experiencing pain, don't enjoy pain. Relationships are not meant, in fact, that's what we are saying. The content of the message is don't enjoy pain. Don't enjoy a relationship, but enjoy a relationship. So if you want to enjoy your relationship, please, this is a book to read. But over and above that, it talks to real issues. It talks about our life story. That's what you always encourage us when I say to say, write about your stories. So it talks about my story, it talks about her story as well. But even better, about the lessons that we have learned through the journey of life, through the journey of our relationship. So this is not an easy book to read, and to the views and the reviews that we have received all around, where people have read this book, but besingazi, why did you take this long to write a book efana nale? A book that encourages abantu ukuthi esikhundleni sokuthi ufe in a relationship, kungcono hamba, live a relationship. There's nothing sinful about living. So it's not an easy book in that regard. But now we provide our guidelines based on our experiences. That's what is the little bit about the book.
And Mrs. Mngoma, can you share again, why should people read from your perspective? Because I know it's different from yours.
Yeah, as much as I concur. Here's the thing. When we grow up, we are being told and we view relationships a certain way. Mm-hmm. As a girl child, I was sharing with my hubby this morning, why you continue or to stay in relationships. And here's what I painted to him. Here's the thing. The reason why this book was written, it's to actually enlighten people. And especially from the perspective of a woman. When we grow up, we are being told, Mawkhula, thola indoda ezokushada. Get a man ozokunakekela, ozokuthengela indlu. And there is no emphasis on the values regarding to a woman. What do you do when? What is your role in this whole thing? Does it mean your role is to stay home, you're cleaner? In 2019, khulisa abantwana, uhlalela ukuzala, such things that are deemed as normal in society. And as a result, we have seen over the years women succumbing to the scourge of abuse because men have been raised a certain way and women have been raised a certain way. And as we come together, we see ourselves as him and myself as a woman. We don't see each other as human first. And as a result, then we thinking, let us disrupt the thought patterns of what is deemed to be norm, in order for people to understand beyond a relationship, you are a human, you are called, there's things you need to fulfill and discover yourself, master yourself, and give what you can't give, what you cannot give. Women, we are seeking to be loved, and given the fact that men many men have grown up without fathers. They don't know how to love better. You know, they don't know how to do things better. So as women, we are expecting this, and men are expecting that, and these expectations clash. So as a result, this book speaks to that as well, to say, who are we as men and women, and how are we supposed to really be treating each other? But as we delve deeper into the do's and the don'ts and the realities that people don't want to talk about, and the uncomfortable truth of saying, Mamela, we are for Puma. And people don't want to hear that. I'm one of the people who never wanted to hear that in my previous marriage. Thought people are crazy. They don't know this person is going to change. And there's a lot in this book, but it will change the norm, the tradition, the culture, and the religious that people have created outside of the word of God to make people succumb and being encouraged to, no, pray, he'll change. And people have died, have been killed while praying for somebody to change.
Yeah, and what you guys just said, it is true, because we have women who rather die, or men who rather die because of what will people say if I'm leaving this relationship. But there's something interesting I get when I was reading chapter 1, where you guys spoke about the pain and the pleasure of love. Can you dwell more on that? Because there is a tricky situation there, because in the beginning usually there is pleasure, but as time goes on there are pains that we enjoy, and like especially you guys, you are seen as a power couple.
And I didn't know. Baby.
And most of the things you are doing together, businesses, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But when the pain comes in, that stereotype, that stigma that we have put into you, to these guys, they're always together, and then you will enjoy that thing because of that. So can you share more about the chapter 1? What is it when you speak about the pain and the pleasure of love?
The pain and pleasure of love, what we want, the message that we're putting across there is, when we start good.
Yes.
And in the process, then things happen. Now, changes happen. I mean, when you start a relationship, and as you progress with a relationship, kuba khona ma changes that happened. If you start without a child, then kuba khona bantwana. If you start without friends of another partner, then baqala baba khona. But now, the specific focus on that one is how we meet matters.
Yeah.
Every time, how you meet as a couple matters, because the manner in which you meet will necessitate how you manage challenges that you will find in a relationship. There's a lot of dishonesty when people meet. We always want to put our best foot forward, to appear to be this holy, to appear to be these good guys, yet there are underlying factors, emotions which have not been managed when you were growing up. Our background come into the fore. Go chapter 1, we talk about the case Katandi Notemba, Yabon. People who were young people who saw each other betandan, and they fell in love. Little did they know one of the partners was hiding izinto. I wish people can read that part. We were hiding stuff. The lady was hiding some stuff, and the gentleman was also hiding things. Then in the process of them having a pleasure, then there was pain as all these real issues came about. Yabon. We see this beautiful person, we see this handsome dude, but asaz what are these guys? People don't talk about the past. They don't talk about the pain that they've endured when they were young. So chapter 1 really focuses on that aspect to say, hey, how ready are you when you will get revealing, when you will get revelations of your partner? Can you really settle for that? And in chapter 1, we're also saying, hey, it's so painful because abantu, they are living a lie. They want to please their family members, they want to please their friends, they want to please whoever. But now they have not begun to accept themselves as they are, and getting into a relationship, you will find kubanama challenges which they will never be able to manage because there was no truth from the beginning. Hence, we're talking about the pleasures as well as the pain of love. Now, if that pleasure, or this, in fact, if this pain is mismanaged, then there won't be a pleasure. And no one wants to enjoy any pain. We'll rather go for something that will give us pleasure. Hence, kunabo cheating, kunabo TV shows which show people doing crazy stuff because something at the beginning of a relationship was not properly managed. That's what you are focusing on.
Wow. Yeah, this is a powerful book. I'll go to you, Mrs. Mngoma. Chapter 2, you guys wrote about testing your love.
Love test.
Yeah, love test. And you even give some different types of tests that you can use to test your love. Can you share more on that, and why do people have to test their love and give them maybe few, don't give all, give few, so that people will get more when they are reading the book?
We talk about quite different tests, quite a number of tests, and it's 25 love tests.
Yes.
Okay, and the most important one is the background test. Because you are meeting with somebody, you may be charmed, by different things. For other people, it could be ucula kamnandi. For another person, it could be muhle kanjani, handsome or muhle lo sisi. But there is a lot of things beyond what the eye can see. When we talk about the background test, can I bring it home because it's part of the book. Ubaba Mngoma grew up in a background where kubo bebathengisa imbamba asesemncane. And I can imagine as a teenager that would have brought self-esteem yakhe phansi because it is known ukuthi umntana sembambeni and nothing good can come out of that. And as a person tries to progress in life, their background can be a hindrance because you're meeting this family or you are meeting this woman, and once they find out I cannot be associated with that type of person. And the questions that we're really asking is, are you ready to deal with what comes with these things? With this person? I need to tell uthanda imali yakhe, uthanda ama benefits ozowathola kuye, uthanda ukuthi uyachama, or are they good in bed? But what about the test that we talk about, the background test? Another test would be an ambition test. And it's many men and women fall into this one because you get in a relationship where unama visions. We have vision that this is the thing that I want to achieve. And the only time I think I can realize this is when I have somebody who can support this type of vision. I understand ukuthi mina ngumuntu wephathi ngiyajiva, wena umuntu ofuna fulfill my visions and be something, in your life. So there's quite a number of tests, but there's the purpose test. When you get into a relationship, over and above your purposes as individuals, what is the purpose of this relationship? What are you trying to fulfill through being in this relationship? And this is one aspect that people or couples overlook. They don't think or understand or know that actually their relationship must have a purpose to fulfill. And it's some things that are not being talked about. We talk about the perfection test. You get people who are so obsessed about certain things. It's just to name a few really. But people who are so obsessed about izinto to a point where in everything they do, there's so much of perfectionists. There's no way ukuthi abantwana bangangena lana bafake icathulo because this person is such a perfectionist. They don't want any mistake. And if they discover that they've committed a mistake, inkinga for bona because they can't bring themselves to being human, and as a result, they frustrate the relationship. But the one that I'm really passionate about is the children's test. Are you willing, if you have a partner from a relationship, a previous marriage, or a previous relationship, onabantwana, are you willing to become a mother or a father that would raise these children and love them as their own? And unfortunately, especially in our tradition as black people, you'd find ukuthi awa as a man, Tina as mina ngifuna wena wedwa, and uthole ifamily kabantombazana bathatha umntwana bamisa kabo malume, and then abantwana labo they suffer while this woman gets into this relationship or this marriage, uyashada uthola abantwana balapho laba bala babambelwa and labana they suffer, which is a disconnect again your culture to say as a woman as well, if umuntu uyakuthanda or as a man, if they cannot accept your children or love them as their own, there's no reason to get into that relationship. But abantu are forced because of umshado or uthando, or and it will not work out. It will never work out.
Yeah.
Just to add, Brasia, if you allow me, Putwam, I'll add just one, Putwam. Abantu must read the book, and about Zotola many more. Over there are 25, so she just mentioned about 4. I'll add the 5th one. And the last one, Ogwamaji. 20 more, go get the book and get it. The values test. Wow. I think that one, Putwam, it becomes the killer. I mean, becomes the killer of any relationship. Right. If you meet together, then you come together, then suddenly, wow, you discover that value clash. So when you've got this particular belief system that we have created for yourself, as from when you were young, then you come and get into this relationship, boom, instead of peace, kuba ne provocations, kuba a lot of things, because your values are clashing. If I believe is card to be important to me, it becomes a problem when I have a partner who does not respect his card. If I believe in education, for instance, as an individual, and my wife does not believe in the empowerment and the power, education, then it's going to be a problem. If I believe in the value of empowerment of other people, for example, I love people, I love to interact and connect in a band, and my wife believes something completely different. Then it becomes a problem. So a lot of value clashes. Now that test, once we are able to pass it, then we can say your relationship is on the right track. But one of the reasons that causes a lot of relationship, it's not it's not the lack of money, it's not the lack of whatever, but it's the lack of proper values that both of you have set down and agreed upon. Though where can we put these values together? For example, I may have a particular way in which I feel this is how I want my children to be raised. But now she has a completely different idea. But now we need to come together, and if that test is not being passed, but I'm telling you that relationship is about to fail. But the majority, on top of the list of things that causes relationship and marriages to fail, is because we believe differently. That's where values come.
And just a quick one. Sometimes it's not really a problem to have different values because we come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Once I've discovered what is precious to you, let's discuss it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Does not necessarily have to be what I believe in. However, because you are passionate about it, and now that you've brought light into me, now that I've been educated on this, I understand it, then I'm going to support it. And I may have a certain value that he may not understand, or maybe because he was raised up in a different way and I now see things in this way. It's my responsibility to say, this is the reason why I believe, and this is how it has worked for me in the past. And that's why I don't want to part with it, because it makes my life progressive. And in that regard, doesn't mean in a competition. I will support your values. We'll create our own tradition in our culture and our values, combining what we have brought together as a couple, so that we can be able to live in harmony. So these things, you grapple with them, you question, you get learned, you get educated until you understand, and as long as you are willing to open up and learn to say, okay, I may not really agree, but can I just open up?
Yeah, because when the truth is, especially on the values part, that's what builds any relationship. If we have different values, like even in business, and we are business partners, that will make that relationship not to work.
Yeah.
So moving forward, and I like this 25 test, and people, they should go and take it, and because a relationship that are based on assumption or perception or emotions, usually they don't work. But if two people sit down and check one another if are we compatible, because the truth is, if living is not, there's nothing wrong about that. If you are honest, good to know there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with me. It's just that what we are doing here will not work, and then people, they have to move forward. Chapter 3. That's I think that's one of the most critical chapters, because they don't never take anything for granted. Because the truth is, in everything that is happening, when people they're in relationship, when they are failing, there's a sign that happened before, and people, they took it for granted. And can you speak more about not taking anything for granted? Chapter 3.
Akatelekile bhuti wami ukuthi how small the issue is. One of the greatest failures of relationships is because people are taking things for granted. It's given. You can't ignore certain things. You can't ignore your past. Even though you have to forget about your past, but you can't ignore the past.
Of course.
You can't do that. Otherwise, we'll just be building a castle in the air, so to speak, if we try to ignore certain things. So nothing should be taken for granted. Are you aware, Sia, Uguti, the biggest mistakes I can make is to take her for granted. I should not take my wife for granted. Her values should matter to me. Whether I agree with them or not, but they should matter to me. So there are things that we neglect taking for granted. One of Yalezo's Indonesia is talking about issues.
Uncomfortable issues.
Very difficult issues. When we go into I'm talking about very uncomfortable issues. I know, Mina, of friends, we know of couples that are not talking about this into 80s. You know, when that issue becomes a thorny issue in their relationship. Now, how can we walk together on this path for many years and not talk about issues which we are not comfortable about? Issues about sex and what she likes, what I don't like, and so forth, what we both like. Now, we don't talk deep into these things. We just sugarcoat it and it becomes a problem, and many other ones which my wife will expand on.
Of course. One of the other ones that is also very important is it's a lot. It's quite a lot, but I'll just talk about two. There's insecurities. Many people, because they come from different relationships or different backgrounds, in our lifetime, there's things that we are insecure about. And I think it's important for couples to discuss their own insecurities so that one partner who claims to love another cannot capitalize on another's insecurities in order to bring them down. Do you get me? And one of the other ones is the financials. The financials, the assets, if there's any owned or if there's nothing, the debts, what do you owe? Are you willing to get into a relationship with somebody and how far are you willing to go with that kind of a person? Or for an example, you find out another example of those uncomfortable issues of children born outside of relationships. There's people who go to an extent of hiding children because bayasaba ukusho ukuthi yo. In fact, sisters and Adona by 7 different mothers. But now we are here. Let's talk about these things. Open up and see if ngampela you want to build a relationship, and we all have past as people. Let's put everything into the fore. No matter how uncomfortable the issues are, let them be discussed so that people can build a relationship in a solid rock. Kusasa kungeza baby mama number 5 mhlambe for an example. Magafika, ibile unale ngwana, ibile unale bana bay 7, and when you would be standing your ground and saying yes, I know. I'm quite aware of that. Instead of having to deal nama how those things. So there's quite a number of things like disclosures of any diseases. We live in the era where people have different types of diseases. It could be cancer, it could be HIV, it could be whatever disease, whether it's a chronic disease, whether it's eczema, you're looking at a particular skin, like, why is the skin like this? What's wrong with this person? You get to understand what is the background, why did they end up, even if sometimes they may not be comfortable, but I think as a couple, manqala nthandana, and kunezinto that you know about, you open up.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, Ndoda, I had been diagnosed with diabetes, for an example, and this is what I'm grappling with. And as a person that cares, or as a person that wants to build a relationship, you can then help that person.
No, that's true. And
But the more, there's a lot. When people get this book, you know, things like embarrassing moments. You talk about these things. Imagine you're a woman, unomdwana, and now in your teen life, you used to be very rebellious and do crazy things, and you got captured on YouTube, and that thing is not going away. It follows you wherever you go, and you need to talk about those things. Hey, Ndoda, I used to do drugs, you know. You know, these are the things that I used to do, but I've since repented. So there's a YouTube. So if you type my name, that's the only thing that's going to come out. And they have to be willing, if they want to, if they want to actually deal with that with you.
But it's very critical, this one, because anything that you ignore, you can't bury a problem or an embarrassment alive, because it has a way of resurrecting. And when it resurrects this time as a spook, then it's gonna spook you. It's on limas.
It'll spook you.
It's about spook and it's on limas because you're burying it alive. You know? So now, for example, go book launch 26. We are going to be having people who are going to share their stories. Some of the embarrassing stories. We've got someone who's honestly speaking, from the previous relationship, it never worked out because this is what this man did to me. Now, if you are not allaying all those, umuntu makakuthande the way ungakhona. Angakuthandi just because you are putting your best foot forward. I cannot take this. I cannot take umuntu onabantwana. I cannot take umuntu who's got things, disease. I cannot. Makakuthathe njalo, uyabona. But we are saying no, don't try to put your, if you are hiding the truth, then it has a way of coming out. And when it comes out, it's one of the things that I revealed to my wife from the previous relationship that I had, you know, Bengshadile, and as such, it never worked out. But she got deep. She deep into me and said, Mngoma, why? What happened into your relationship? I mean, then what happened? What exactly happened? What exactly happened? So I needed to pour out my heart. Embarrassing things, terrible things. I became also an abusive husband as well. Now she had a choice. My wife had a choice to say, no, I think there's danger, lad. I cannot absorb lo muntu into my life because ngiyasaba nami uzongihlasela uzongiphatha kabi, yabo. I needed to be open. Ukuthi nginabantwana, yabona, with my previous relationship and so forth, yabo. Now she needed to be open about certain things to me. Now I had a choice to say, I think this is too much. I cannot take it. So now on chapter 3 we are focusing on this. Ningafihli izinto. Ngoba zizovela, masivela zizovela kabuhlungu. Take it or leave it.
And so let's go to chapter 10 so that we, I think for what we have given now, if I'm a book reader, I'll want to read this book. So let's go to chapter 10. There's this thing that is happening that you find people in relationship, they're dying slowly. They're dying slowly in the name of love. You know, this man is abusing you. He said, he will change. Or this woman is abusing you. No, she will become better. Some they even hide behind the Bible, behind the church, and those are the things that is affecting, special this kind of generation, special women, because even when they advise you when you're getting married, don't come back here. You need to be strong. If you check, marriage is one of the things that is sold badly. If you buy, they say this thing is difficult. This thing, it will not be easy. Your man, even if your man do something wrong, hide and all of those things, and you find people they dying slowly. And let's speak about that.
Yeah, that is very sad because we are living among people who are alive in their bodies, but their spirits are dead.
Yeah.
And it's because of various reasons, but particularly the ones that are in relationships. When they enter into a relationship, you entered as an individual with dreams and aspirations. These are the things that I wanted to achieve. And all of a sudden you get into this relationship, you abandon. And that's the first death. You abandon your dreams, you abandon what you wanted to do, and the whole focus is on this man. Uzongenzela lokhu, bona, uzomfonela after 5 minutes, oh baby, ushapu baby. And there's nothing that you're doing with your life. You're just focusing around this person. Kanti ungena kumuntu self naye ufile la abuya khona, because akazi ukuthi yini ukuthanda umuntu wesifazane. Wazi ukuthi ukuthanda umuntu wesifazane uyambejela. There's no emotions, there's no affection in it. If you're a man, I mean, we are adults here. You don't know how to what do you say? To do foreplay, for an example, to your women. We are getting up, and that's how he knows. That's how he knows. His emotions died because he's been fighting all his life, and you get somebody. Now they're in this relationship together. There is no vision. There is no plan. Siyajola Friday, siyahamba siyophuza, siyabuya Sunday, mangabe siyabuya, masibuya. There is no plan ukuthi senzani. If angispani, Monday morning ngiyahamba ngiyodlala namangani mama makhadi, ne-calamine lotion, ne-night dress. The only time when I have fun is when I go out with friends. There's no time. So people actually lose themselves, lose their purpose, lose their sense of being, lose their sanity, and as a result, they are walking, yet they've got nothing to bring, nothing to contribute in life, nothing to contribute in their relationships. The only thing they know with mango relationship, right? Do you get that?
Prasiya, in churches kunabantu abafile, kunabefundisi abafile. To add on what my wife is saying, we've got young people who are dead inside the churches. We've got young people, we've got abantu who are dead, who are corpses in the corporates.
Yeah.
The only thing, you've been there, but I'm in the corporate space, we've been there as well. Bayafa labantu laba, goda bafi. And many of them, bayafa, and they are in relationships which are not working. Kunabefundisi kahle kahle mele kube kudala ayiyekile le relationship. I'm telling you the truth. Bayasitshela mina nonkosikazi wami. They are telling us that. Athi Mngoma mina bengihlalele nje because of the congregation, because we've been having this church for 10 years, for 20 years, and we've been leaders. Bazothina abantu. People are dying in relationship because of abantwana. Bahleli in relationships which are dead because of kids. I cannot move away. I don't want. I was raised as a single parent, by a single parent. Ngiyasaba because okay ngcono ngihlala. Kufiwe lento. Ayisekho lento.
And how do you see signs which somebody is now dead before they actually literally die?
Yeah.
It is when they don't have a vision or any plan about their lives. I've heard one person, Ati angazi ukuthi ngiphilelani. I really don't know, because I'm as good as dead. I've got nothing to contribute. I didn't finish school, as if maybe school was the only option for them. I mean, there's other things that they could have done. But because of the norms that they will live under, things that we get taught, which is this is the way of life. So because you did not achieve that, therefore you are less of a person. So why are you alive? You would see them with their behaviors. They are snappy. They snap a lot. They are not angry. They are very angry. In fact, they are very cheeky, and you cannot talk sense through the type of a person, because that person they don't want to be told anything. They think was yonke into right, but ubona ngendlela a react ngayo. And people who are dead are not progressive. They're not progressive. You can have a big car, you can have that, but in your life there's no peace, there is no joy, there is no harmony. Laughter is a luxury, you know. So there are signs that you would see with a man. That right there is a sign which loyo mundu feel, because aksi. So if it's not that person that's living, then what is living in that person, you know? But to wivala gube the literal death, lesibona kubo ufelan, where you are being told hamba. I mean, I was told to leave the relationship. On the 15th of December 2008, I nearly lost my life in front of my kids from my previous husband, who was the minister of the Methodist Church. It if I did not leave. And not that people were not telling me, not that I didn't see the signs. People told me leave. I was like, hello, ngizophuma ngephi? Abantu bazothini? Plus ngishade nomfundisi. Ama-congregants azothini? Mangiphuma ngiyothi ngiyohlala ngizothi ngiyohlala kuphi? I mean, I know this type of love. I don't want my kids to be raised by another man. And there's lots of things that come. But the truth of the matter is that I would have been dead and those kids wouldn't have had a mother today. And the best decision I ever did on the day was to move before I died, because I understood and I knew that I deserved better.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, I'll ask the last question.
Yes.
Before I ask that question, can you share with people, because I know people, they want to invite you in their churches or in their events, how do they get hold of you, both of you guys?
We've got a Facebook page. In fact, we've got a website. A website and the company, but this is a company, it's a movement that we've created at You Deserve Better. It's a statement for every human being. So if you go and Google You Deserve Better, you will find our website, www.youdeservebetter.co.za, and we are also going to get a Facebook page dedicated to be talking about these issues and which is You Deserve Better. It's a Facebook page. But our contacts, which we prefer normally, you can use WhatsApp. You can use 072 931 0763 072 0763, or you can use 083 617 8838. So those are the numbers. For email authors@youdeservebetter.co.za. It is very simple, so people can get hold of us, so that because we've got a presence in social spaces where people can we will love to come and host some workshops. This beautiful this beautiful book launches in now. It's not just a book launch where we're just talking about the book, but we've got powerful speakers that are going to be talking about issues that they've experienced, and they're also going to combine, say, 3-4 hour session that is going to change a lot. And those are that's a beautiful part about it.
In closing, we also have an opportunity for people, because the intention is also to empower.
Yes.
So if we also have a reseller project where if somebody wants to sell this book, they get it at a discount. And if they want to, they buy in multiples of 10. It's a beautiful discount. It has good returns.
Yes.
And as they sell this book, they're more than welcome to invite us to come and talk in their spaces. So they make money for themselves while they actually invite us, so that they can have more clientele, if I may put it like that. So if they want to get to be a reseller as well, they can just email orders at youdeservebetter.co.za, or they can contact any of the numbers.
Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. How do you take your life back, or your power back? That's chapter 10. 1 minute.
Number one is to realize that you were born for a purpose. You were born to fulfill a particular assignment. You take back your power by saying, I am deployed. I've got gifts and talents that I can offer to the world. You take back your power by forgetting the past, in the true sense of the word, but you deal with it. But there must come a time where you are at peace with the past, because you can't move forward whilst you're still looking back. You take back your power. But every time in a relationship, we do have problems, but those problems will be mismanaged if you're always looking back over problems. But you take back your power and you realize you've made a mistake, and you forgive yourself. And you forgive the persons. We talk a lot about forgiveness. She talks a lot about her forgiveness as well. I talk about a lot of forgiveness. So you take back power by forgiving yourself, forgiving the person, and go back into what God had created you to be.
With me, it's my slogan. There is no shame in going through challenges. You take back your power when you understand now that there is no shame in going through challenges. What you need to do, you need to acknowledge, take responsibility, forgive, and live your life.
Okay, guys, this was one of the best sessions that I've ever had. And the book is say, you deserve better, move before you die. I keep on telling you guys that I always bring the best in the studio. Today, I had an opportunity to spend with Mr. Mngoma and Mrs. Mngoma. This is a power couple, and these are two powerful leaders in our community. I urge you guys, invite them in your space. Make sure that you spend more time, because if you heard that these guys, they are fully packaged, they have so much to give and they are willing to give. Invite them in your churches, in your events. Make sure that you sort your relationship before it sorts you out. My name is Sebonga Ndlozi. This is Global Conference TV. The name of the show is My Book Story. We doing book reviews in a way that has never been done. Thank you. Till we meet again every Wednesday. We are here at 9 o'clock.